everyone, I'm Natasha, and today I'm reviewing Freaks by Amanda Hocking. Freaks just came out in January, and it's like a carnival, supernatural, paranormal romance type of novel. St. Martin's Press is kindly sponsoring this video for me, and they sent along this very interesting novel. I just finished the book like 2 nights ago. I was half audiobooking it and half physically reading it, because that's usually how I read books nowadays, is I listen to the audiobook when I can't physically read, and then I open up the pages and I read when I'm sitting down and I have some downtime. I actually got through this pretty quickly. I really enjoyed the audiobook, but I didn't like the male voices that the narrator was projecting through my ears, so I definitely preferred reading the male characters. I'll have this book linked down below on Amazon if you want to check out the audiobook or you want to buy the physical copy. This is actually set in the 1980s, 1987 to be exact, and it spans a course of 10 days while we follow this band of carnies. They travel to like the butthole of Texas, this little town called Cadre, and it's creepy. There's things happening, people are dying, and they're being attacked. It's like a mystery. You're trying to find out what the crap is messing with these people. I really enjoyed this book. I think if you like Vampire Diaries, if you like Teen Wolf, or even True Blood, Vampire Diaries and True Blood are like set in the South, so it kind of has that like Southern vibe to it. I was really getting the vibes of like the first few seasons of Vampire Diaries. This portion of the video, by the way, is spoiler free. I'm not gonna spoil anything that happens in the book, like briefly spoil, of course, like the summary and my thoughts, but then I'll go into some of the spoiler talk afterwards. The town that the carnies visit, called Cadre, feels a lot like Mystic Falls, so I was just getting all those vibes and all those supernatural creatures and paranormal creatures and the romances, and everyone seemed to have a secret in this small little creepy town. Small little creepy towns really freak me out. I don't live in a small little creepy town. I live in a city. It's like everyone knows everything. I don't know if I would like that life. I mean, I kind of live in a town where a lot of people know each other, but there's still like 75,000 people. There's only like 3,000 people in Cadre. I don't think I've ever read anything with a carnival. Like, I've read circuses. There's a guy who is like super strong, and there's a girl who can shoot fire out of her hands. Like, these are actual supernatural people. This is like a carnival that's on steroids set in the 80s. Got all this crazy fashion. There was like mentions of Madonna. There was a lot of atmosphere of the 80s, and there was just like a little bit of the carnival like kind of mixed in there. We kind of got to see what these people do on the daily. We follow Mara, and she's 19 years old. She's a lot older than some young adult heroines that I've read, so I really enjoyed that because I like a little bit of an older protagonist in my stories. That way, like, I know when they do mature things, I can kind of relate to it. It's more realistic when the character is older, in my opinion. She and her family, because her mom is also a carny, she is a fortune teller, and she can actually talk to spirits, and so she actually has real powers of a fortune teller. She and her mom have been a part of this carnival their entire lives. So the story begins as this caravan is making their way to this small town, and they have no money. They need to make money in their next stop. This small little town has invited them and said that they would pay them a good chunk of money if they were to stay in Cadre for 10 days and set up camp so they could bring tourists into the area. And everyone is kind of feeling that this is off, especially Mara's mom. We shouldn't be here. This doesn't feel right to me. But the leader of the carnival is like, no, we have to. We don't have any money to get out of this state, let alone get to this city. They're out of choices, and they get stuck in this small town. So that's all kind of what I want to say about the summary. This cover, by the way, is kind of a spoiler. There's a lot of stuff happening. Don't look at it too closely. Just don't. Mara felt a little bit flat, but Freaks is like a fun paranormal romance. If you want something exciting and you want to read something atmospheric, then I would definitely pick up this novel. It's about 430 pages, so it's nice like chunk. I definitely had some like, ooh, ooh, ah, like those moments where I'm like surprised by violence and things happening at the end. It was a great standalone novel. You don't get many of those. Usually they're series. At least I think it's a standalone. It wrapped up pretty nicely. I would rate it like a 4 out of 5 stars, maybe like 80%. So that's the end of my spoiler-free section of this review. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the spoiler part. So if you haven't read this book already, leave now and come back later. Okay, so getting into the spoiler section of this review. I knew something was off with Della Jane. It was blatantly obvious that she was hiding something. Same with Gabe, which I really, I did not like Gabe at all until the very end, until he was revealed that he was a werewolf. I liked it when he was explaining that he was a werewolf. He's like, I can control it. Like, I don't hurt hurt people. I'm not like first teen wolves when they change and they can't control it. They have to be chained up. I also like the fact that he's been a werewolf and his family's been a werewolf their entire lives. Usually we hear about werewolves. They've been bitten and that's how they become werewolves. But I guess he's kind of like a Derek Hale, like the Hale family in Teen Wolf. I didn't like how manipulative Gabe was, and when he's like, on our 4th date, I will tell you the secret that I'm keeping from you. Mara's secret came out like that. I think at like the 3rd date, and she's like, okay, well, what's your secret? He's like, no, we're gonna wait until the 4th date. I'm like, excuse me? You've been telling her that she's been hiding stuff from you, and you finally got to the root of it, and it's kind of not fair that you're not telling her a secret. I guess he didn't really know about the supernatural abilities of everyone else at then. But the relationship felt a little bit insta-lovey. They were definitely like instantly attracted to each other at the very beginning. He's like, come into my room. And I'm like, no, Mara, don't do that. You don't know if he's like a rapist. I would never do that. I would never go into some strange boy's room. You don't have a friend with you to let other people know where you are. She's a little stupid sometimes. I really liked Gideon. I liked it when he was like running full force to attack whatever the demon of the swamp was. I will get you! Stop terrorizing my people! I couldn't believe of all the people who got attacked by this swamp demon and they survived. Like the strong guy, his entrails, all of these things were out of his stomach. Was that the guy who could heal? I thought it was the strong guy. Also, I have pictured Gideon as Captain Hook from Once Upon a Time just because he kept saying love. Oh, it's Killian Jones, it's Colin O'Donoghue, it's in my head. My fan cast, I pictured Selena Gomez as Mara, Matthew Daddario as Gabe. I guess I had Melissa McCall, the actress, Scott's mom from Teen Wolf. I pictured her as Lianka. I really like that name, Lianka. I liked how quickly the book kind of like wrapped up there at the end. They fought this demon, not for very long. Like the last night when Della Jane and Gabe's sister came in and tried to help the carnies. Well, not Della. She was like, everyone get out of here. Gabe, come home. All Mara had to do was shoot her great grandma's crossbow at the demon and it died. I'm like, yes. Yeah, so I guess who ended up dying? Blossom, Gideon's brother? The one who got them and tricked them to come to Cadre. He hung himself, and then Gabe's sister died. I was wishing that Della had died, and then all the things that Della says after her daughter dies and she blames Gabe for it. I'm like, no, actually, no, that's your fault. You're the one who's been not trying to kill this thing. You've just been letting it wreak havoc on this town for centuries. But then also, her grandma was yelling at her, Ibab hunan hingangung. I don't know. So I was listening to that part in the audiobook. She was like screaming it. Like the narrator was screaming that part. And it was pretty funny. I kind of laughed. One of my favorite parts was definitely when Gabe was like helping out Gideon's show. I thought that was pretty cute. Let me know your thoughts on the book Freaks by Amanda Hocking. I will see you guys all with a new video soon. Keep calm and fangirl on. Bye! Hi, I can't talk right now. I'll call you back.